Welcome to episode number 5
Hi.
of Coffee with
Joan
and
Brent.
That was weird. You can tell we
No,
rehearsed that.
I added some spirit fingers to, I don't know, enhance it a bit.
So today is a very special show because we have our first guest who is not here yet. So we're going to do our little bit, do our little spiel, and then she will be on probably in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, first of all, welcome to our current subscribers and up to all our new viewers. Welcome. We ask that you like this video, subscribe to this video. I still haven't figured out where that is. It's on this side.
In this general area.
Yeah, in some area on the screen. And then click the notification bell so that way you know when every video comes, you don't miss it. Mm-hmm. And also check us out on iTunes. You can subscribe and listen to us. If you just want to hear my beautiful voice instead of see my beautiful face, check us out on iTunes. Also, check us out on our Patreon, where you can sponsor us. You can get some lovely mugs.
Yeah.
Like featured here.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael Copeland.
You can get a shout out. You can have a 30-second spot. Or you can be a sponsored guest on our show. So, check us out. Our Patreon link is in the description below. So feel free to check that out.
Check it out.
What? And let's see.
That was in there for added effect as well.
So our guest today will be Dr. Jennifer Melancon.
Yes.
I know. I don't want to screw up her name. Especially our first guest. Let's not screw it up.
Yeah.
Because that's all we need.
Yeah.
It's like bad luck. 7 years bad luck.
Is it?
No. So anyway, we always like to do our welcome, then we like to go on to anything that happened in this past week.
Yeah. So what happened?
So
Brent.
Well, I have a good story. So I did an open house for one of our other agents, and it was in Aubrey, Texas, which is it's a nice area. It kind of looks like I don't know, like picket fences and big front porches. It kind of
is it like that East Coast kind of
kind of East Coast swag, if you will.
Vibe. That's a good word.
I say swag.
Right? Vibe. Like, when they hashtag good vibes only. Like that.
I don't know what that means.
Vibes.
So anyway.
Like good vibes.
So I'm at this open house. And it's an amazing day. It's beautiful outside, right? It's like 65 degrees, sunny.
Whatever
it's
you
just
imagine
fantastic.
Beautiful to be.
It's fantastic. So I go over to this house. Very nice. Met the owners. They took off. I'm walking through it, getting all the lights turned on, being a good little agent. I go upstairs, and they have this balcony that stretches the span of the front porch. So it's the entire width of the house. So I open this up, and I walk out like, oh, this is beautiful. And I walk out, and there was, I don't know, 20 wasps that were flying around, and I just had to dive inside. Like,
Those things are mean.
Yeah, they were mean. So I went inside and locked the door, and so there was a agent that came in with her buyers, and I just said, hey, just so you know, if you go upstairs, there's some wasps. You might want to check them out. So
were they...
There was no nest. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe they were just attracted to you.
Well, who's not?
Oh.
So then, because we are in November, it's a little bit slower for open houses. And I expected this. So I was, doing what any good agent would do. And after I had everything set up, I was watching the Cowboy game, and then I was watching the Raiders game.
That's good.
Well, you pay for unlimited data, you might as well use it, right? So I'm sitting on the couch, I had everything waiting, and this is, it's a 2-hour open house, and we are an hour and probably 50 minutes in, hour and 45 minutes in.
Dang.
And I'm sitting there watching the game, and I hear the sound of somebody walking their dogs, and it sounds like they're walking up towards the house. And I thought, who the hell is bringing their dogs into an open house? But it wouldn't shock me, but it'd be a little weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I wouldn't want just some strange dogs necessarily in my house. Like, I don't know. Maybe some people don't want dogs. Maybe they're allergic. I don't know. Just don't bring your pet into someone's house without permission.
That's like, people really consider their pets family. So.
Or if it was a service dog. I don't know. But I hear panting, and I hear like a leash or a collar or something. So I stand up and I see a dog that looks like Benji come walking into the house. Scruffy little cute dog.
Yeah.
And a pit bull that walked in with Benji. And
Those are
this,
buddies.
like, I'm not afraid of pit bulls. We have a Doberman ourselves. Dogs don't scare me. But dogs have potential. Like, I don't know if this is a crazy dog.
Yeah.
And pit bulls do have the potential to mess you up, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't feel pain as much as other dogs because they're bred for fighting. So I see these two dogs, and they walk in to the house just because I left the front door open because heaven forbid I get some fresh air. So they walk into the house, and before I realize that there's no owner with them, I go, hello? And I stood up like an idiot, and I'm thinking, oh no, they're gonna see me now. And so if you walk into the house and then over to the left a little bit is the sectional, and I'm just sitting there. Very nice sectional, by the way. And I was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? This is a small couch. Like, what do I have to defend myself with if this dog comes? So I jump over the couch, and the back door is right there, and I was about to just lock myself out. I was gonna go outside and just close the door, put a barrier between me and the dog. And I stood up, and I see the dog, and I jump over the couch, and then the dog kind of looks towards me, but not at me. And I don't know, I was just waiting for this dog to just go bananas. I was like, well, the back door's only like 6 feet away, so either that or I was like, I'm gonna have to kick the hell out of this dog if I have to defend myself. Sorry, animal lovers. I'm an animal lover too, but I'm not getting my face bit off.
Yeah. You could do some jujitsu, just like that guy that...
What, with the mountain lion?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was overrated. It was a sick baby, but anyway.
Well, this would have been on the news.
Oh God, local realtor chokes beloved, probably veteran dog,
probably like the sweetest dog ever.
So, as I stood up and I jump over the couch and I'm getting ready to walk towards that back door, then the dogs just turn around and walk out, and I'm like, okay. So then I go, okay, I better close this door. And so I like go running towards the front door, just praying that this dog doesn't turn around and charge at me. And I like slam the door. I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm sitting at, you know what, I take that back. It was probably an hour and a half in because I still had another half hour to go. And I see the dog just kind of wander off. So then I'm sitting kind of by a front room looking out the window. And maybe 10 minutes later, I see that dog just go, yo, the other way, just going bananas. I don't know where the other dog is. I just see it taking off.
That one's probably just watching.
No, it took off. And then I see a police cruiser going after it, just driving. So I was like, oh, maybe the cop's trying to get it. Okay, cool. So then a buyer comes through. Like, I see a car pull up. And then I'm sitting there, okay, I got my sheet ready. I'm going to, greet them. And then I hear the little dog barking.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, all right. Maybe it's another dog?
Yeah. And
so then the lady comes in. She's really nice and toured the house and got her information, and then as she's leaving, she steps at the front door, she goes, just so you know, there's a pit bull that was running around. So I guess she was confronted by that dog too. Like still, like 30 minutes later, the dog was there. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, he's really nice, but he charges at you. You just gotta stand still. I was like, oh, great. So I'm like, oh, fantastic. So then we wrap up the open house, and I turn off all the lights, and then I like peek my head outside, and I was like, oh God, once I lock the door, like that's it. Because I put the key in the lockbox, there's nothing I can do. So I lock the door, and then I like open up my trunk. No, I open up my trunk, and I grab that open house sign and throw it in the car, and I'm like looking around, and I jump into the car.
Maybe he just wanted to take a look at the...
I don't know, it probably was a nice dog.
Yeah.
It probably was. She said he was nice. It's just some stray dog, but I don't know. Like, what if it's a mean dog? And like, that's not a dog I'm going to be able to fight off that easy.
Yeah.
So that was my open house story.
We a lot of friends have pit bulls, and they are the cutest. They have the sweetest personalities. At least the ones that we know. Yeah. They have the sweetest personalities.
Not Michael Vick's.
Oh jeez. Well, those are
Ron Mexico. Ron Mexico's pit bulls.
No, but I don't know. We love them. They're like the sweetest dogs. And they get a really bad rep. So does, Dobermans. Dobermans get bad reps, but...
Yeah, well, because they look scary.
Yeah. But if you know ours, he's really mean.
Shut up, Joan. Maybe there's burglars that are listening to our podcast and they're going to break into our house.
He's got a pretty loud bark, though. I don't know.
Well, there's my open house story.
Yeah.
And then, Joan, you are having... Well, I guess you didn't didn't happen already, but it's coming up. You have an online
Yeah, I've got
class.
an online class. I've got an online, I guess you'd consider it a health class. What would you consider it? What category would you put that under?
I don't care.
You should care.
I do care, babe.
You should care.
I care a lot.
It's the name of the class is called Mama's Holiday Survival. I should probably remember.
Mamas, don't let your boys grow up to be cowboys.
No, Mama's Holiday Survival class. Essentially, I I gathered up all the content that I have from many years of
many moons.
many years of like health advice that I've personally been given, anything that we've learned over time.
The health advice I've been given and ignored.
Have different products that we use specifically through Young Living and
Young Living.
I don't know why I said it.
The
Like
Young
I
Living.
I don't know, but and some other different advice to teach people how to essentially survive the holiday season without getting sick.
I don't know if I'm going to survive this room. It's hotter than hell in
Yeah,
here.
it is pretty hot.
That?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. I don't know. It's okay. Maybe
Can you just open that door for a little bit?
Sure.
Live.
Look at that.
No editing, people.
Does it feel cooler now? Should I use it as a fan?
I don't know. I'm also drinking hot coffee, so.
I think I'm only getting the benefit of this fanning.
Yeah. That
Should I just leave it open? Like that?
Yeah, for now. Until our guest.
It looks so professional.
Until our guest, Dr. Jennifer Melancon, comes.
No, what I wanted to do is I geared it towards moms because a lot of the times for the holiday season, it's tough for moms.
Say moms again.
Mamas.
Mamacita. Mamacita.
Mother. But it's tiresome, at least from my perspective, because I am a mom. I can speak from that kind of experience, that it's tough to handle a lot of stress sometimes, with the kids running around and...
we need to get sponsored by a whiskey company.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Hashtag stress relief.
Let's reach out to Witherspoon Distillery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went there one time. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good fun.
We sponsored them, so they should sponsor us now.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the class. We talk about stress management, how to utilize sleep, how to or how you need sleep, and how.
Why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling.
You're screaming.
You're screaming.
Manage sleep.
That's how you were talking through.
I am passionate about what I do.
Same here.
About pit bulls.
About.
It was Mr. Worldwide.
You were talking loud too, and I didn't say anything because I didn't interrupt.
Because I was passionate about Mr. Worldwide pit bull coming through.
Oh my goodness.
Darling.
Did you just... Well, I guess he's still relevant, though.
I'm a hip dude.
yeah, you are. Should I say it quieter? Like, should I speak a little bit?
You could just speak under the indoor voice, inside voice.
No.
It's not recess.
Recess.
So it's geared towards mamas.
Yeah.
That have stress problems during the holidays.
Yes, because a lot of the times during the holiday season, we get sick.
They have to go shopping. They have to go shopping.
A lot of kids get sick. A lot of the times, people and their kids get sick. Everybody's getting sick, and so who has time to be sick? Nobody has time to be sick.
Anybody got time for that?
But it's so easy and simple to keep your immunity up during this time.
Yes.
So that was the whole point of my class. Plus, I know a lot of moms have a hard time reaching out to, their friends and their family for help because they like to take everything on for themselves. So...
Not me. I like to put my problems
on
everyone.
Are you a mom? No. But yeah, a lot of times...
I identify as a mom right now.
Oh, jeez.
Now what? What?
Anyway, well, you can join the class.
I want to.
See? So, yeah. I thought it would be a good place for all the moms.
Like a
I'm
community.
saying mom again.
Like a community.
Yeah. For all of them to kind of learn how to...
De-stress?
Deal with different kind of stress. Deal with different kind of stresses, especially throughout the holiday season.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. Oh, it's easier to prevent it than it is to fix it after, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So you're saying ask for permission, don't beg for forgiveness?
I don't know if that's...
It's probably not relevant to what you're saying.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
But if you would like to learn more, it's completely free.
100% free.
The class is...
But not absolutely free.
No. Is this absolutely free? Or what was it? Joke lost.
Someone like firing up a Harley outside? What's going on?
I don't know.
Man, we live in a rough area of town.
Yeah, but the class is free. It's online. It's on Facebook. And I just want to present the information out there and
I will say
educate
something
as
nice,
many
though.
people.
I will say something nice.
What?
That you have put a ton of work into this.
Yes, I have.
And how do I know? Because I've had to proofread all of it.
Well, I just want to make sure there's valuable information for everybody. I want everybody to know that it's simple and there's always options for you. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be miserable. You can always prevent it. You can enjoy your time with the family. The holiday season does not have to be stressful.
Well,
I'm saying it doesn't have to be.
It depends who your family is,
Yes.
right? Like, I've got a great family on both sides. I mean, they would never cause any stress for me. So, I mean...
But it's stressful nonetheless. We're doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, just even if it's good stress, you're still getting stressed.
Still
and you're not sleeping and you're eating junk food.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good time, but it's also a stressful time.
Yeah. And it would be nice to not have to get it ruined by being sick.
Yeah,
so
because being sick is not fun.
Seriously, if you're a mom, check it out because it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free. She won't even spam you.
No,
so
no spam.
How does someone find out about this so-called class, Joan?
They can go on Facebook.
Do they have to be friends with you?
Do they?
I don't know. We have tens of viewers.
Friends?
Tens of subscribers.
Well, you know what? Why don't we link it?
All right, we'll put the
below.
link. Let me take a little note for that there.
Yeah.
Link in description. Oh, that's good. I nailed the spelling of that one. I'm in real estate, people. The other thing is, for those who are listening only on iTunes, how would they check that out, Joan?
They can also.
Oh, I can put descriptions in my.
Yeah, you can.
See, I never do that. I probably should.
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So if you're listening to this, look below, and you'll probably see something good to click on.
Yeah.
All right, so check out Joan's online young living class.
It's not just a young living class, though.
It's not, because it's a class. Hang on, see if because I helped her craft this message. I'm like Don Draper. It's stress relief and happiness management.
Sure.
With the occasional use of some oils to amplify, to enhance your experience.
Yes.
It's like alcohol and Vicodin.
Yeah. Sure. I don't want it to, I don't want anybody to feel obligated to be like...
Are you impressed by my pencil twirling, by the way? Like you do it?
Yeah.
Like yours looks just like that, see?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I would be thoroughly disappointed. I do appreciate the effort, though. Yeah. So, again, free.
Free.
No obligation to buy or sell anything. Just...
Yeah.
I'm going to have all the information that I have, put it out there.
Even if you don't like it, can you just go on her page so she feels good about herself?
Yeah.
Even just leave angry emojis. That'd be good for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for my class, it was my real estate class called Bold. We've been doing something that's kind of interesting, and it's supposed to raise your financial thermostat. So what that is the amount of money that you can make in a year that you will not tolerate making any less than. Mm-hmm. So apparently, for some points of my life, it's been $5.
That's not good.
It's not good.
That's not good.
Right? So, you could say it's $1 million, but if you're not making $1 million, then that's not what your financial thermostat is. Mm-hmm. So this is a little exercise that we're doing to raise our financial thermostat, to get us used to living in a certain way, which, look at me, steak and caviar.
Steak, for sure.
Yep. And, chicken caviar.
We can't. Jack and I can't. We
can't
partake in
You're allergic to chicken caviar.
Partake in the chicken caviar.
So this exercise, what you do is they have a blank checkbook register. So for all you millennials out there, by the way, is that still recording? Okay, good.
Yes.
We had good luck last
one.
Okay. So you get a blank checkbook register. And then you get, look at Joan, I'm just going to check her text in the middle of the podcast. How about that?
Well, guess who it is? Guess who it is?
Is it Dr. Jennifer Melancon?
It sure is.
Is she on her way?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
A few minutes ago.
Okay, so she'll be here shortly.
Yay!
So anyway, so you take a blank checkbook register, and then your first deposit, you get a deposit every day, and it's like that movie Brewster's Millions, where you have to spend it all, at least this one is all in one day. So your first deposit you get is $3,000, and you have to write down specifically what you're going to spend that on, and you can't give it away, and you can't just like say buy stocks, right? You have to buy something with it. And the next day it's 6,000. Then the next is 12, then 24, then 48, then 96, then I don't know, math. So it just keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. And you have to come up with creative stuff to spend that money. And it's kind of a fun exercise because the first thing, and some people have a real hard time spending money, right? They have that, nailed it. They have that close tie with money.
Yeah.
And they want to hold on to it. And not me. Like, no problem spending it.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I mean, today I got like a $768,000 deposit. What? And I paid off my house and bought 3 rental properties. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to like 3 million. I was telling some of the people on my team I'm going to look like Scarface. Just a mountain of coke up here. And
Oh, that's good.
what? This isn't a kid's show.
I'm not
This
saying
is
that.
real life. This is real life. Our set's going to change. I'm going to have like a mirror with a razor blade.
Yeah, that's good. That's
What?
healthy lifestyles, right?
It's organic coke.
Well, that's good. No pesticides were used in this.
Yeah, only like gasoline and lighter fluid or whatever.
But it's organic.
It does sound organic.
Gasoline.
Organic gasoline.
Oh
And
my goodness.
then, so that was kind of a cool thing.
So valuable information that we're
Well, okay, and then
giving to
the last
our
thing, because we
listeners.
always like to talk about Jack and the funny things he does.
Oh, yes.
And
He's the best.
we're discovering that he really, I mean, he takes after his dad and his grandpa. We all are like jokesters, and we like to make people laugh, and we especially like to tease girls and women. It's just awesome for us. So he's starting to do that now, and when I view it through that lens of he's trying to figure out what's funny and learn his sense of humor, it makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot less irritating. Because you're like, why are you doing that? Stop it. It's not funny, because he hasn't figured out what's funny yet. Like, he has this friend named Liz, which he really likes her.
Yeah.
But I look over the other day, oh, hey, how about that?
Oh, look at that.
Is that our guest, Dr. Jennifer Melancon?
It is.
Is she already here? Is she inside? I mean, is she at the front door?
She might be.
All right, Joan, can you grab the
All
phone?
right, I will. All right. We'll see you in just a little
We'll be
bit.
right back. So we are
Yay. Okay.
back live for the second time with Dr. Jennifer Melancon with Cedar Physical Therapy and Wellness.
Hi, everybody.
I sound way better now. I know what you're doing. I know the name of it. So we were recording, and then we realized the thing stopped again, as if you're a frequent viewer of the show, which not many people are, but it tends to do that, and I don't know why.
I know, and we've had...
Leave something in the comments. Help us, people.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we got to go back and reintroduce, because we had 1 second recorded.
It was a good 1 second.
We'll make a bonus of that. Bonus episode.
Bonus feature.
Okay, so we're with Dr. Jennifer Melancon, and she is a physical therapist and has some pretty unique, I don't even know what's the word, takes on physical therapy?
There's a lot
techniques?
of techniques.
Techniques. Okay, so where'd you grow up? Tell us about you.
Yeah,
For the third time, probably.
I was born and raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, in the heart of Cajun country,
Okay.
and went to undergrad at UL Lafayette there.
Oh, okay.
University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
I'm in
I
real
think
estate, so
they've changed the name now, U of L, University of Louisiana.
like the L, like how Miami has the U, the L.
Yeah, so instead of ULL, it's now UL.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
Oh, because that would be hard. UL. Yeah, people couldn't say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then you were a sports trainer.
Yes.
That was your dream, or just kind of what you fell into?
I actually kind of fell into it when I was in 8th grade. A girl whose mom also taught at the same school we went to, she was like, hey, I'm going to be a trainer for the football team in the fall, and since your mom works here and you're here all the time, do you want to help me? So I was like, okay.
Oh.
So yeah, that's how I got my
just
start.
randomly, like, hey, just help tape up this knee or whatever.
Yeah, and then like learned how to tape ankles and can make a mean ice bag, folks.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I know.
I like that ice
I
bag,
know.
Jen.
I know. Oh, the ice bag. We can share that story later.
Okay.
It's about her today.
I know.
It's about...
Okay, so then what made you change your course from sports training?
Yeah, sports training.
Because when it didn't record, Joan said that she works with a lot of sports people, which we figured out is called athletes, right?
Yeah,
So when
so-
did you transition from just being a trainer to becoming a physical therapist?
When I was in college, I was a student trainer for
Okay.
the first year and a half, and then I ended up switching my major from athletic training to exercise science because I realized I wanted to go to physical therapy school.
Okay.
and that was a more direct route with credits and such. And then my grandmother had a stroke while I was in college, and watched her recover from being like in ICU in the hospital to like going through the rehab process, and she went back home and lived independently again. So got to see the therapy process, and
that's a lot of work.
She always used to tell this story of how I don't want to move my thumb, and they tell you in therapy to move your thumb, but look, it actually worked, you know.
Hey, that's
to get her back to be independent at home again.
Huh.
So
that's great.
Fun fact: I used to think occupational therapy was people just needing help with their jobs. So yeah. Not even kidding.
Yeah, I can see where you get that though. Not far off.
Yeah,
it's just a big facet of what they do.
Yeah, well, it was from Office Space because they had the occupational hypnotherapist, and it was like a hypnotherapist to help them with their job. So then I was like, might as well. I'm smart. Okay, so then you said, okay, I'm going to be a physical therapist, and you had to apply to a bunch of schools?
Yes.
Okay, and then you ended up going to ULL.
Well, ULL was my
UL
was my undergrad.
Oh, that's right. You went to Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, and so I ended up going to the University of South Alabama in Mobile for physical therapy school.
USALM.
Yeah, USA.
USA is A-OK.
Yes.
Okay, so you went to USA.
Yep.
That's awesome. Where'd you go to college? Sounds like you're lying. I went to USA. Sure you did.
Yep.
Okay, and so you already did 4 years of college, and then you did how many years?
3.
Is that 3 there?
Yes, 3 years of grad school. So it was a
long
long 7 years.
And then do you have to like do not residency, but like intern fellowship? Lord
Those
of the Rings, like
those are options. They're not mandatory, but there are different residency and fellowship programs you can get for different things if you're interested in
I definitely would have
pursuing
not done
that route.
I would have like, I'm out.
Yeah, at that point, I did consider it, and I was like, I've had
You
enough
just did
school.
7 years of school.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they did that, and then did you start there? Did you go back and move home to Louisiana?
No, I actually moved here to Texas. I lived in Abilene for 3 years.
Oh, that's right.
Worked at a great place called the West Texas Rehabilitation Center in pediatrics.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah, I've
So
always loved the kiddos.
Yeah.
And so
Good.
that's where...
Then I'm just going to drop Jack off with you.
my
On the premise of him walking on his toes, but I'm just going to be like, just take him.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, and so then you were there, and then what made you moved again then?
I did. I got a little homesick, so
I moved
back home to Lafayette for 3 years.
Okay, and then now you're here?
Had a little detour year.
That's right.
Actually traveled in 2018, so I worked as a traveling physical therapist in North Carolina, Georgia, and California.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you said that on our meeting that you kind of would go to places that, it was like a not a temp service.
Yeah,
where it was.
It kind of is. It's like travel nursing. So if a facility has a hole and a need for a therapist, they'll put you in to cover if they have an employee that's out on sick leave or maternity leave or...
Do you have the option to say yes or no where you go, or it's just like, no, you're going? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're... you work with a recruiter and they present you with many options, and then you can figure out like...
Oh, it's just like the Bahamas
and
like Hawaii and like that's all,
Yeah, and those are a little bit harder to get because a lot of people do want to do like Hawaii and stuff like that.
So like a list?
Really expensive to live there.
Oh, yeah.
And they probably pay you more though to go to like less desirable.
Usually the more rural the place is, they will sometimes pay you a little bit more.
That's good. Put me out in the middle of Saskatchewan or something. In the forest.
Oh, too cold.
Yeah,
Too cold.
that's
true.
Well.
That's cool. So then you went all over there, and then that was last year?
That was 2018, yes.
Okay.
And then I moved here to Dallas at the end of 2018, and here to McKinney in January.
Sweet. And you love it, right? This is a hesitation. What is this?
It's been an interesting year.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a busy year with the business and trying to get
out. The idea of this company kind of started rumbling around at the beginning of the year, and then decided to go
what
for
made
it.
you start your company?
I wanted to provide awesome service to people on like a more individualized level.
Okay.
A lot of current models in PT outpatient clinics is
Like supermodels?
Oftentimes therapists will see many people at one time.
Oh, really?
And yeah, there were times when I would see like 4 or 5 or 6 people at one time in an hour, and
oh wow,
I didn't particularly care for that model
Because you couldn't give them the care that they really needed.
Yeah.
Huh.
And everybody is so unique in whatever they need. So
right. So like, I literally might be seeing somebody for a knee and somebody else for an ankle issue, and 2 people with low back pain over here, and somebody with a jaw issue over here, and so it's just like running like a chicken.
Quite the range,
with your head cut off.
And
so do you? I assume that was because of insurance, right? That you would take so many.
Yes.
And now you don't work with insurance.
No, I chose to be cash based because I can provide a much a different service, and I like the one-on-one aspect. And
that sounds neat.
People also get better results if they've got a little bit of skin in the game.
Yeah.
So research has
very,
shown that.
very true. Yep, that is very true. They'll do their homework. Yep.
It's on. I keep staring at the camera to make sure it's on. Now I'm paranoid.
Yeah, I can see the.
That's cool. So tell us about your business. You travel, right?
Yes. So I'm mobile, so I go to the client to their home or office or gym or wherever it's convenient. So it saves them the drive time to and from a clinic.
Okay.
Plus, they get to be in an environment where they're already comfortable in.
I'm not comfortable in my own house, though, so that's a problem.
We'll have to work on getting that fixed for you.
You're affirming? So what stood out to me when I first met you was your technique and your
philosophy.
Yes. Yes. Because I keep wanting to say hypothesis, but that sounds like it's just like made up.
Yeah, my educated guess.
You're educated. I'll let you talk about what makes you different than other physical therapists, because we worked with physical therapists, but what you said, you had some unique stuff about you.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, I found this great treatment technique called neurokinetic therapy, or NKT, and it changed the way I thought about everything. Even outpatient ortho issues like have a neuro component because your brain controls your muscles. So through this technique, it uses manual muscle testing, so non-invasive, to let me know if the brain has a good signal to the muscle or if it's struggling.
Okay.
And through that process, you can figure out which muscles the brain's overworking and which ones are underworking.
Well, you can't
and
tell.
get it to rebalance. Yeah, interestingly, sometimes you can tell. I've had my brother is a bodybuilding coach, and I've worked with some bodybuilders before, and like when they go to a certain pose, they notice like asymmetry. And it's cool because after you do the correction and their brain can refine that muscle, like you can literally watch it change and things become, the muscle comes back in and you can literally watch it change. Or
I just get my pec implants and flex that way.
Yeah, so it's super cool because everybody's brain has done whatever it needs to do to keep them safe and then functional. So nobody is the same in how their brain's chosen to recruit their muscles. So
does the brain actually rewire itself based on?
Yes.
Okay.
So
what would make the brain act different? Like with the skin, how does that?
So your motor control is driven by sensory information that your brain gets from the receptors in your skin.
Okay.
So if there's any type of skin trauma, like a scar, a burn, a tattoo, or a piercing, or even like stretch marks, which is really interesting, the brain gets
these guns.
The brain gets a different signal, and so different information in, so it chooses to use your muscles a different way.
Huh.
So an example I commonly see is like ladies who have had to have a C-section or multiple C-sections. Their brain cannot find their core muscles the way it's supposed to. And oftentimes they come in and tell me, hey, I've got back pain, I've got hip pain, I've got neck pain, because all these other muscles.
It's okay. But all of it is like...
Well, because Joan's been working
I work with her.
Do I call you doctor? Do I call you Jennifer? Do I call you Jen? Dr. J?
Jen is fine.
Yeah, I've been working with her, and I've had a C-section, I had a belly button ring, and everything that she's talking about.
Rebel.
Yeah, but this is a long time ago too. I got that belly button.
Well, I would hope so.
A long time.
I'm 35. He's gonna go get some piercings.
No, but I like you'd assume that the automatic trauma, like the amount of time you.
The acute trauma is over.
Yeah, like you'd think that wouldn't affect anything right now.
It's crazy. I've worked with ladies who were like, my kid's 30 years old and like end up crying on the table. They're like, I haven't felt that muscle turn back on in like 30 years.
That's
like,
it's wild.
It's crazy. Because your brain stores trauma in scars. And so sometimes you might not even realize that you're carrying around some trauma that you haven't dealt with yet.
So what if there's somebody that has like a surgery, right? But then, so you have two people, one that had a normal surgery, stitched up, but then you had one that was repaired by a plastic surgeon and the scar is more minimal. Would that one have less trauma?
Nope.
Or no.
It's the same.
Wow.
Yeah, like something as small as a scope hole, like if you've had your knee scoped or
ankle scope,
your ankle, or you've had your gallbladder removed, like a scar that big I've had people who can't find their core, just the same as somebody who has a really big scar.
But you would say like even a knee scope would affect their core too?
It's possible.
I guess it depends on how
It depends on how your body has adapted and
That's messed up.
responded.
That's crazy.
That's messed up, but I mean, it's like, it seems to be the only thing that really makes a lot of sense for all of Joan's issues. Like, it really does, because we've kind of explored everything.
Yeah, we've explored a lot of avenues. And as much as as much as he's researched, we never actually stumbled upon any of this, like
We've never heard of it.
scars and the skin being a huge aspect of how your body can respond to certain trauma, all kinds of things, and how it can go up your spine. Like that was brand new to us, and I feel like we've been dealing with it for a long time. So
yeah. So now when I see people and I see like they've got a nose ring or something, I was like, oh.
Your core's turning
Oh
up.
man.
Yeah, and every scar is different. That's why we go through the testing process to figure out like what it is linked with and what it's not.
Is it possible that people could have, say, a scar, but it doesn't affect them, really? Or is it just all varying degrees?
I've seen some where they don't, but a lot of the ones that I've seen that are related to like surgeries and traumas, I've found to affect in some way, usually.
Now, is it still similar? Like, let's say there was a torn rotator cuff or something like that, but they never got it scoped. I know that's not necessarily in the skin, but would there still be other things that would affect you throughout the body, like the neurons or the nerves? Help me out, Doc.
For that,
I'm swimming
for
here.
that might be more of like a localized or like upper quarter.
Mm-hmm. But if they got it scoped, though, then that could affect a lot more.
Yeah,
then,
like
right?
I've seen somebody who had one shoulder scoped and dislocation problems, and that ended up affecting the other shoulder stability like pretty significantly.
Yeah. So without giving away your secrets, so how do you go about rehabbing people?
So first got to figure out what's working and what's not, and then go through the restoration process. Actually,
I like that, restoration.
kind of a 3-step process we work through. The first is education, because I want everybody to understand what's going on with their body. And once you really understand, then we can move into the restoration process, which is going through the corrections. And then I can give very specific homework, like you need to release this muscle or work on this scar, and then you need to turn on X, Y, and Z right after to let your brain make a new course of how it's going to move.
Right. I know she's always doing homework.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I want it to get better.
Constantly.
And which is great because your brain learns by repetition. So like a good analogy is if the way it had been doing is like a super highway. Well, when we make a new correction, we're like on a dirt road. But the more you do your corrections and your homework, that dirt road turns into a gravel road, and then a paved road, and then a 2-lane and a 4-lane, and working its way back to being a super highway. Your brain easily goes, oh, this is how I need to move. Let me do this. Instead
That's
of
stuff I've never even heard of.
going back to the old way of compensating and trying to get you through.
So for people listening out there, what are some things that they could be on the lookout that like they may not even realize? Like, oh, that's causing it, right? Dysfunctional problems.
Yeah, a lot of times, if you're having pain and you've already tried like stretching and strengthening or oh hey, I foam roll all the time, but it doesn't really get better. Or I've tried this and this and this, or I go to the gym all the time, but my core never gets stronger. Those are some context clues that, hey, maybe we need to look at it in a little bit of a different way.
Right.
And see what might be the root cause of the issue.
That's interesting. So people should be on the lookout. Like, do I have any tattoos that could affect anything? You know, like if you're having problems, some of the things that you would definitely specialize in would be like tattoos. You said piercings, scars, and you said stretch marks, which is something new I haven't heard of.
That's crazy.
Because
can you talk about that? Because
skin has changed that sensory input. Those
That's messed up.
receptors
The body
are
did it
changed
to
because
itself.
it did.
It's messed up.
It did for, it had its purpose in doing it, but it caused another thing. So I've seen stretch marks basically turn muscles off just like a scar would do.
Wow.
But the cool thing is you can fix it.
Yeah.
That is wild. I was telling her that she got me on like this whole, I nerded out on it, right? So then I'm sitting around and I think it's probably like 4 a.m. and I'm on my phone looking at like, okay, so she had a belly button piercing. I mean, it's such a tiny little hole, right?
Yeah.
It's not like...
It doesn't seem like it would affect anything, especially years after.
Yeah, because you were what, 21 when you got that? Yeah, so...
I was a rebel.
She was a young rebel. And so then I was looking up like, because at one point you had mentioned that it was along like a meridian, right? You said that some things are along the energy, like...
Yeah, scars or piercings can affect the way energy flows in your body.
Right, which some people are going to be like, okay, that's hokey, but like I've had experience with acupuncture for decades and I've really benefited from it. And so, you kind of look at like, well, what are you doing now? How's that working for you? Try to look at something new. And I looked up, acupuncture meridians, and they have them that go up and down throughout your body, and then there's one that runs just dead center, and it's called the conception vessel. No, I asked her this, and she
I didn't know the name of it.
Yeah, but anyways, and so it runs here, and then the spot exactly on your belly button where you would get it pierced is CV8. That's what it says now. I checked it on several sites. I mean, it's on the internet. It has to be true, right? But it's funny, though. It said that one spot is the one place in Chinese medicine where it is forbidden to needle. They are forbidden to put a needle there because it disrupts the energy in the body. And I was like, oh, let's just stick a rod through it and just leave it there for, a decade.
Yeah.
Or more. So, yeah. So I thought that was very interesting.
And interestingly, in development, because of the navel being where your umbilical cord is attached to the baby, to the mom, like a lot of things fascially come out from the center as the baby grows, and different organ systems grow and mature. And so a lot of things, like that is your life source right there at your belly button.
That's what they said in Chinese medicine too. Like that's where life starts, and then when you die, it goes out there. So I told Joan I would just put a Band-Aid over my belly button. I'll never die.
Don't go. That's the secret to it.
That's the secret. I'm gonna just walk around with my birthday party hat right on here. That's so interesting. So, but I mean, it all can be fixed though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does it depend on the severity of the scar, or does it just depend on how the brain's...
Some scars, if they're really small and they're moving pretty well and only are a little bit restricted, it might not take a whole long time.
Okay.
If you've got a really big scar, there's a lot of adhesions and restrictions, it's going to take longer.
Okay. I see.
So I tell people scars are projects.
Yes.
And you can even see changes in scars, like working on them, like way down the road.
Okay. So does it matter where the scar is? Like, let's say it's on your core area. Is that going to affect you more, or than something that say it's on your shoulder or your knee? Would that be more likely to turn off your core muscles?
If it's on the abdomen or the back or the chest, I've found that it generally does affect the core.
Okay.
If you have a scar on your ankle, is it going to affect your core? Maybe, maybe not. But I wouldn't be the first place I would go to look for it. I would start
I should have her test
more locally.
Okay.
But your body compensates all over. Like you use your eyes to compensate for a muscle, or your jaw, or a slight tip of your head, like, or a way you hold tension, or the way you curl your toes. Like, it's crazy how it compensates.
It's true. She did that. So the first test.
Curl my toes are always curled.
The first test she did with me is like just to.
Don't give away her secrets.
Well, no, it's just
No,
it's
she
just
can-
a test. It's a
Yeah.
test.
Okay.
I'm not giving away secrets.
No.
But I did a test of just stand on one foot. And the first thing she noticed was my mouth go like that. And she's like, oh. And I didn't pay attention to that at all. So that's crazy that because I'm lifting my leg, that this happened just to make sure I can stabilize. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird what your body
Yeah.
does to compensate.
And it's subtle, and we're not oftentimes even aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, definitely not aware of it. So, I mean, that's kind of another reason that if you can avoid surgery at all costs, try to,
Yeah.
I would assume. I mean, if
There-
obviously if it's
yeah.
life-saving or necessary, then sure. But, you know, like, at one point, you know, you were at one point thinking, oh gosh, do I have to have some sort of back surgery or neck surgery to fix something? Luckily, we didn't do that. I
Yeah.
wonder. She's had, I don't know. I guess would a needle being inserted, would that cause issues too?
It can.
Because what did you have done?
I had cortisone shots in when I was
In your
probably
spine?
like I was a teenager the first time. I think I wrote it down in my little thing, but just I got probably 3 cortisone shots in my back at different points in my life. So I that made
Is that where they like were doing like they put the the needle way deep in your
yeah, and they've got the
picture of
the
the image?
imaging.
It's like
or whatever it
yeah,
was.
fluoroscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything intense, but
Still, they had to give you locals to.
yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's terrible.
They didn't cut me open, but
No, well, clearly that's
they just stuck a
needle.
giant needle in there.
It's a puncture wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See, you should have left everything alone. See,
Yeah,
you should
well, I
have never
did.
had a child. You should have
did.
been left alone. Huh.
I did.
Okay, so how can people find you? I mean, besides being in our studio right now.
Yeah, my website is www.cedarptwellness.com.
CEDAR?
AR, yes.
Okay. PTwellness.com. Okay.
I am on Facebook
Okay.
as Jennifer Melancon.
Can you spell that?
MELAN.
Oh, see?
C-O-N.
Nailed it.
Did you just sign that
I
to
did
me?
it. It's a habit sometimes.
Wait, you sign like
A little.
Did you just say a little?
I did. I took a few classes when I worked in pediatrics because it helped communicate with the kids, and I found it pretty useful.
Wow.
So
I remember it was like all the rage in like elementary school. The kids were like,
All the rage.
It was everybody. Everybody was like,
This
for some
is such
reason.
a fad.
You're causing me trauma.
No.
You're causing me
Emotional trauma.
emotional trauma. Okay, so we can find you on Facebook.
yes.
Okay, but you know, I mean, there's gonna be trillions of people watching this, so like, we don't want creepy people to all be your friends. So they can go
No.
on there. They can email you.
Sure.
What's an email for you?
Jennifer at cedarptwellness.com.
Okay, is there 2 N's?
Yes, JENNIFER.
I had to ask that because you never know. Let's see.
Well, she likes to travel.
Oh yeah, tell us
So
about.
let's talk about travel.
Yes, tell us about your travels that you did. Was it last year or 2 years ago or this year?
I have done quite a bit of traveling. This year I went to Senegal in Africa in June on a medical mission trip
That's so cool.
with a group through South Alabama. It took a group of med students that had just finished their first year, and we did a healthcare clinic
That's
for
cool.
5 days in a really rural village. And then we got...
Did you blend in or?
Did you?
I don't know.
No, we didn't blend in super well.
Okay. That's cool.
That's like you with my family.
Yeah,
You're
with
like
your
the
family.
towering.
As my dad says, I'm the albino praying mantis with your family. And so you went there and you were helping people in like a village?
Yes, we
Per se?
put on a healthcare clinic so they could come in, and we had several doctors and nurse practitioners. And then I was the only physical therapist.
Okay.
So
This
yeah.
is all planned out, I assume, right? You didn't just show up and just like
Oh,
walk
no.
into the village like, hey.
No, this had been planned for months. The organization, Christian Medical Missions of South Alabama, has a relationship with a church there, and they had been like 2 years before. So
That's so cool.
yeah, the
I mean,
relationship was already there.
Did you like it? Like, was it?
I did. It was very interesting. Definitely, definitely a cultural experience.
How was the food there? Dr. Jen?
The food tasted good. Unfortunately, a lot of us, it didn't quite agree with our tummies. But it did taste good. So.
Well, that's good. I guess at least it tasted good. That'd be bad if it didn't taste good and then it still made you sick.
How long were you there for?
We were there for almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. And was the travel, like, easy or was it not so easy?
The flights weren't too bad, your normal international flight. Then when we got to the airport, we ended up having to wait a few hours. And then this bus shows up to pick us up, and it's probably about half the size that we really need.
No.
So they're like loading, because we each had, our personal luggage, and then we had like really huge duffel bags, and then 4 or 5 like treatment tables in bags. And so they had to get all of our bags up onto this rack on top of this bus and then tie it down. And so
oh my goodness,
we were sitting like 4 to 5 to a row across, and like I was sitting on a piece of luggage with a piece of luggage my lap. And we were like sardines in a can. And so we were also exhausted. I have pictures of us all passed out of sleep.
Was it hot?
Yeah, it was really hot.
It's even worse.
Yeah, no AC, and it was just like you're really hot. But we made it there safely.
Man,
yeah,
you'd have to get that
there were some
charity to
prayers
fly
going
them
up.
back here. Some prayers going up. Yeah,
yes,
I bet.
It was a little nerve-wracking.
Was that your first time doing kind of like a medical mission trip?
No, actually that was my third one.
Okay, where'd you go before that?
I got to go to Costa Rica and Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice.
That's cool.
Now, is it true? I don't know. Costa Rica, it has a pretty good medical system, does it not? Or
I don't know a ton about it.
it says in Jurassic Park they did. In the book they did, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, they were definitely, grateful for our help when we came in. Because a lot of these trips, the people don't have access to like regular healthcare and medicines.
This is kind of out in the rural part though, right? Or was it in like San Jose?
We were probably a couple hours from San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, because we got to drive in and go to a football game.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They always build in like one fun day on the trip. So we got to go zip lining, which was really cool, and then to a football game, and I feel like I'm missing one other event. We had.
Did you see a volcano?
No, we
The
did
beach?
not. Yes,
There you
we
go.
went surfing.
Oh,
This little Cajun
cool.
girl got up on a surfboard.
Yeah.
You stood up?
I did.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
Was that your first time?
It was my first time surfing. Yes.
Man.
See, I'm gonna do it.
It was. I didn't make any like big waves.
Who cares?
But,
Was the water warm though?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I'm not doing that in like California. It's too cold, and then I'll have a great white eat me. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And then you have to help me with the scar afterwards.
I was super nervous. Usually adventure things don't really faze me too much. But yeah, I was definitely nervous for the surfing.
The surfing, really?
Yeah.
Was it
Which
just the
aspect
water,
of it?
or is it like
Just 'cause it's
animals
like,
under the water? That you
no,
can't
it
see?
wasn't the animals. Just like getting up in the waves and having a wave like come and like knock you down while you're trying to figure out your balance. And,
It's adversity. Well, yeah, she freaks out in the open water.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the water, but it's just
You love to look at it.
yeah. I like the sound of it, but
Yeah.
then going in it freaks me out. That's why
Yeah.
I have to.
She like hangs on me.
Like, come on.
yeah, I love the beach too. But I
Yeah.
don't get too far out.
Yeah. So wait, what did you do for fun then in Senegal?
We actually had was it a long weekend? Yeah. So we did clinic for a couple days, and then we drove to this town, and we stayed at this resort. So we actually had a shower, because when you're there, you take a bucket bath. So there's one large bucket of water, and then you have a little bucket to like rinse. So we had a bed and a shower, and they had like a pool, and it was right by the beach.
Oh wow.
So we did a little shopping, and then
Was it pretty then?
It was.
Okay.
Took a really scary boat ride. It was so windy, like I was like really nervous. Like, give me my life jacket to get on this boat. Like.
You don't realize too how much you take for granted, like a shower, until you're not able to have one.
Yeah.
And then you take it again. You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like even after going camping overnight, you come back.
You're like,
this is
oh,
great.
hot water. Yeah.
So, and then what was your first trip?
That one was to Trinidad.
Oh, that's
and
right. You said
Tobago.
that. Okay.
Yep.
And how was that?
That one was good.
Okay. It sounds like you're going like Trinidad, Tobago, like very tropical, very nice. Costa Rica, pretty good. Then Senegal. Like, are they going to send you to like Iraq next time or?
Yeah, I don't have a next one on the books as of right now.
Yeah.
So,
Do they do just one trip? Like, does that specific group do one trip a year or?
yes and no. The leader, Dwayne, takes several trips a year, but every December, the allied health students go. So that's like PT, OT, nursing. We had audiology students the first time.
Really?
What is it?
Audiology.
Oh, wow.
I'm smart.
Yeah, they pulled a lot of interesting things out of people's ears, like little hair ties, like those little plastic rubber bands, and like bugs and stuff out of earwax out of people's ears. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm good.
Wow.
I've got all this
I
stuff.
wouldn't have thought like
I'll
that.
donate.
But yeah, so that trip happens every December, and then they've got a couple of different med trips that happen regularly.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't able to go on the December trip because I was about to move back here, so they had a PT need, so I hopped on the Senegal trip in June. So.
Oh, that was just like this June?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry,
Good.
there's something in my eye.
So, so you don't have anything planned for coming up, right? Any trips planned?
Not.
Well, you're going back home, right?
Well, yeah. I go back home about once a month, definitely.
Oh, really?
Back
That
home-
often?
Yeah, home
That's
for
cool.
the holidays. Some of my dear friends moved to Alaska, and so
That's
that
close.
is my hope for 2020 is to make it to Alaska.
You gonna drive it?
Yeah.
You know, I had a client actually that drove down here from Alaska. She said it was the most beautiful drive she's ever had.
Yeah.
Until you probably get to like Arizona, and then it's
Yeah,
not
my
beautiful.
friend and their dog and her mom drove from here all
Really?
the way to Alaska.
Wow.
It's like,
moving them.
yeah, it's like 40 hours or 48 hours. Something
Yeah,
nuts.
it took them a long time because of the dog.
Oh,
Just stop and let the
yeah,
dog
yeah,
out to
yeah.
go to the bathroom.
right, and there's bears chasing the
was
dog out there too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go visit?
I would like
there?
to, yes.
Yeah, I want to go.
Or you could do a cruise.
I'm not gonna
My
go on a
parents have
cruise.
done that and said it was wonderful.
Yeah. My friend, I think I've said this before, but my friend, she does cruises every year with her family, like a giant family. And she said that the Alaskan cruise is by far the best one that she's done so far. So highly recommend it.
How about
from her. Not me, because I haven't done it yet. So
We were gonna go to Alaska last year. So last year, yeah. And then we were like, oh, let's go up there. And then we decided we went to Yellowstone. So now we'll go to Denali soon.
yeah.
I think I think I told you this, that there's a bunch of flies and stuff there. And I was like,
Oh.
really? Flies and mosquitoes? Like, really? Alaska? But yeah, I guess it's like,
Oh,
crazy.
I don't remember that tidbit.
it's fine. You weren't involved in the planning process that much, babe.
I'm surprised it's warm enough for mosquitoes.
I don't know. Yeah, because, at one point the other day it was colder here than it was in Alaska.
Yeah.
What did you just read? Something about...
I read a lot of things.
No, I
yeah.
know, but Alaska's going to be like dark for however many days.
Oh, that
now.
one part of Alaska. I think Roy Ponder was talking about that. They're going to have like darkness for like 3 months straight now. They won't see sun for 3 months.
I could not do that. Do not do well in the gloomy weather.
No, but I feel like I'm built for it. Like I feel like I look like I haven't seen sun in like 3 years.
Well, yeah.
I just come out looking like
Be in the
Gollum
same
every
state
morning.
right now.
Yeah, just hunt moose, hunt moose in the dark. And just have a
Oh my
UV light in your house
goodness.
that you go under or something. Wow, that's crazy. So if there's somebody that, because we actually have a lot of people that listen out of the state, and actually we have some people out of the country. Hi, Chad. How is there somebody that you can refer? Like, do you have a network of people that
Yes.
that do this kinetic therapy?
Yes.
I got it. Nailed it.
NKT.
That's right.
Yep. So,
So you if they reach out to you, you could kind of refer them out there.
yeah, so if you go to the Neurokinetic Therapy website, www.neuro,
Thank you.
kinetic, KINETIC, therapy.com.
Uh-huh.
There is a drop-down menu, and you can search based on geographically where you're at to find a practitioner near you.
That's really a cool thing because I mean, not that many people do it, right?
There are actually people all over the U.S. and even they teach classes all over the world, in different places.
Well, they don't talk about it that much.
But
'cause-
it's not super widely known. Like,
Is it catching on more?
it is growing internationally, and there
Yeah, because
are
of this podcast.
there there are classes that are held like all over the U.S. Like there was a level 1 class here in Dallas in October, because there's 3 levels to it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you mentioned that. And okay,
Yes.
like to learn like how to do even more.
Yeah, each one it has different things that they focus on.
Yeah, it's funny though. Once you start learning this, you start like, oh, that's what the problem is. Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish I had learned it sooner.
Well, I mean, if you guys couldn't tell, like under my shirt, I am covered in tattoos. Like it's a suit.
No, but it's a different way of looking at it, but it's one that makes complete sense in my head. Just
Yeah, I mean, you'll start looking at things in a different way, and then you wonder, like, oh, maybe that's why. Like, some people may not experience problems right away, right? But then it would, as they get older, and the energy shut off. So, like, say somebody that's, like, I don't know, wild at 21 and gets a belly button piercing, they maybe not necessarily would have problems right away. Right? So, because you would, probably, if you did, you would have been like, oh, this is weird, maybe figured it out, but 10 years later, it kind of starts to rear its head and you see the problems.
So if you a lot of women that no, a lot of people who get, or women that get C-sections, it's probably recommended then you just get the scars worked on, because
absolutely. Addressing it right away, like after that incision is completely closed, like you can start working on the scar mobility, and then it takes your brain usually like several months to be like, oh, okay, let me reassess what's happened to me here, and then...
Would it be a faster rehab if they got it worked on right away, like the time of working on it, or as opposed to them waiting years, or is it still the same?
It was going to look a little different because you're not going to have to undo as much of
you just have to show
all
it where to
these
go.
Compensation patterns. We can tell it where to go so it works correctly, like right away. Long term, it would be so much better to address it.
So probably the
right
biggest
away.
thing that you'd come across is mostly like C-sections would be probably a really big one, right? Because I mean it's abdominal and it's pretty intense.
And sports people,
athletes. Yeah, wow, that is amazing. So
that would be just, well, it's weird that when you think about it, how women have like this pretty invasive and traumatic surgery, but after you're all stitched up, you just go home, and there's not really.
They're like, bye, see ya.
Yeah, they don't even take the time. Like, because if you like broke your ankle or you had surgery on something, they'll make you go to PT. But after,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
I mean they make you get up and walk right away, right?
Yeah, but you don't go.
And
you
then
don't
here's your pain
go
pills.
and see somebody.
Yeah,
But they
To
don't
go and
teach
get
you how to
pills.
refine your core muscles and move properly and.
right. Because
all
I mean
of that.
they assume that if it's stitched up, it'll go again.
Yeah.
Which it will. It's just gonna
Not
end up
great.
with long-term problems.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only carrying that a baby, like, you know, make your
And then
if your
it's
cord
like
doesn't work
this.
and your back hurts and you're not sleeping and then you're mad, you divorce your husband, go marry some Brazilian guy.
Oh, long-term effects. Huh?
Yeah, that's wild.
But that's great that we can talk about that, because it's, I don't know, that's like now knowing what we know now because of,
Now
being
knowing we know now because of now.
because of being introduced to you, we can help talk about it.
Yeah. Like I think a lot of people should check you out, or if they don't live here, check somebody out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In neurokinetic,
Yes.
neurokinetic therapy.
Yes.
Good job.
NKT.
Good job.
So if you had,
Oh, we're yelling again.
sorry, I'm excited. If you had, I don't know, three pieces of advice for someone who's dealing with an injury, what would you tell them? Just right here.
First piece of advice would be to actually listen to your body, because most people will try to like, oh, no pain, no gain. Well, there are some instances where that's true. Like, for example, if you've had a knee replacement, like, yes, it's going to hurt to get to the rehab. You have to push through that. But
there is rehab for that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you are hurt, that's your body's way of trying to tell you, hey, I need help somehow. So
Good point.
some wisdom there can go a long way in preventing further injuries down the road. The next piece of advice would be to really be aware of like your posture. Yeah, so sitting on my feet to get in the shot here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like having good posture and not holding your breath and actually breathing properly.
Just holding my breath just now.
She's talking to you.
We'll have to check you out later. That really goes a long way. And then, number 3, stretching and foam rolling is not your answer to every problem or pain your body might have. It is appropriate at some times, but you might actually be taking away stability your brain is trying to create and end up actually hurting yourself more once you foam roll out that stability. So,
Because that turns off muscles, right? When you foam roll it, does it do that?
it can,
Okay.
yeah.
So, okay,
Because
actually.
like, didn't you tell us about? Was it you that said they foam rolled before they were doing a bench press, or what were they doing?
I've had clients tell me that they foam
Oh no,
rolled.
he stood up. He was trying to get up. That's it.
Yeah, and foam rolled and went to stand up and like had a shoulder dislocate after foam rolling.
That's why I don't foam roll. I don't want these injuries.
That's a pretty drastic thing, but
So don't foam roll before heavy weightlifting.
it's not.
Probably a good.
Yeah, it's not the best way to warm up.
Okay. Good
So
to
it
know.
would be more beneficial as a cool down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Good
Interesting.
advice. Good
So
advice.
they can find you at Cedar Physical Therapy. No, I screwed that up already.
You're gonna
Right?
have to
what are you
just-
going for website?
Website.
CedarPTWellness.com.
Cedar?
CedarPTWellness.com.
Yes.
And they can email you at Jennifer@CedarPTWellness.com.
Yes.
And they can find her on Facebook.
Yes.
Do you have a page, or is it just your?
I do. My personal one is Jennifer Melancon, and then I also have a page, Cedar Physical Therapy and Wellness.
All right, so they can email you. They can check out the NKT website, which is neurokinetictherapy.com.
Yeah. Or Instagram can follow Neurokinetic Therapy.
What about Snapchat? Can they snap you?
I am not on Snapchat.
Are you on TikTok?
No.
Pretty sure.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being our first guest.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right,
You
well,
guys
a lot
are
of people
having
reach out to you because they need to.
Cool, thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, thanks.